Hello and welcome to this episode of Discover Indy Parks. I'm Linda Broadfoot. I'm your director of Indy Parks, and we're here today at one of the most beautiful parks in the city, Southeastway Park, with its fabulous manager, Chris Martini. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey there, Linda. Good morning.
Good morning. So, I think a lot of people maybe don't know. I first met you over 20 years ago when you started at Indy Parks when I was just a lowly intern. Tell me about your sort of journey into parks and what you've done over your time here.
Okay, that's going to take a while, I think. I've been with Indy Parks now about 20 years, just a little over 20 years. Started fresh out of college. I got a degree in Parks and Recreation Management from NC State. I was in college just kind of looking for something that was fun and outdoors to do for a career. I was like, what do I want to do? And I was like, Parks and Rec. That sounds fun, and that's outdoors. So I got a degree in Parks and Rec. Started over here with Southeastway and been here about 20 years now.
Excellent. And we know, I think a lot of people, when they think of our large nature parks, I think for some people, Southeastway just isn't on the radar, right? So tell me, what would you want folks to know about the park, where we are, how big it is, what it has to offer?
Okay, yeah. Southeastway Park, just a little bit of history for you. Back in the 60s, they purchased the land, early 60s, and developed the park in the late 70s. Over time, it kind of gained an identity as an environmental education facility or venue.
Tell us about the building that we're in. This is one of the more rustic-looking, centers we have. Kind of looks like an old log cabin. It's a super cool place to hang out. What all happens in here?
Yeah, this is, I like to call it like a room with a variety pack. It does a little bit of everything. We do summer camps out of here. We do maple syrup programs out of here. We rent this building out. We hold meetings out of here. It does a little bit of everything. And you're right, it is a cool lodge building. It's a neat building to come to. It does have some really funky architecture. I believe it's kind of based off of like a ski lodge type building. We got some kind of tight loft office upstairs, but downstairs we've got this great open room where we can do just about anything. It's a chameleon. It just rotates and rotates.
And when can if folks wanted to see this space or talk to the staff, when is this building open that folks can come see you?
We have regular hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the week, and then on the weekends, usually once we start hitting April, we're here 12 to 4 every Saturday and Sunday, all the way up until probably about November.
Excellent, excellent. Anything else people should know about sort of indoor and programs that happen in here?
It's a great little place for folks to come in and watch the birds. We have a bird viewing area here, and it's a great place to come pick up park information. We've got maps and brochures and program information here also.
Awesome. So the indoor space at Southeastway is unique and very cool, but really the magic is the many, many acres outside that Chris is going to tell us a little bit more about. So we're outside at the entryway to one of the wooded trails out here at Southeastway. So tell us a little bit about, how many acres of parkland people can see, where all they can walk. What do you got out here?
Southeastway is basically a gem for the park system. It has 188 acres out here. That makes us the third largest park in the system. And if folks don't know, we're located at Carroll Road in what we call Franklin Township, the southeast corner of the city. With the 188 acres, we have about 80 acres of forest. There is a pond, a wetland. There's a creek out here called Buck Creek. There's a sledding hill. There are 6 picnic shelters, 3 picnic sites. We've got about 2 miles of paved trail that people can bring out bicycles and walk on or jog on. We've also got about another 2 miles or so of hiking trails that head into the forest like behind us here.
Yeah, that forested area back there along the creek up to what you guys call the elbow tree, that's one of my favorite places to hike in the city. So, yeah, it's good stuff here.
Oh, yes, it is. And that's a nice little trail. And it is kind of like a neat little landmark that we have at Southeastway, the old elbow tree. Got to visit that. And we've got some other neat resources back along the creek, too. It's just a neat area to explore.
Excellent. So, we talked a little bit about programming in the building, but, this is where, so much stuff happens. Bug Fest happens every year. Hay rides happen every year. Talk a little about some of those annual traditions that Southeastway is known for.
Oh, yes. Southeastway has a lot of neat little claims to fame. Kind of a cyclical year as we go around. We start off in late winter, early spring doing our maple syrup program where we tap about 70 trees, collect sap, and make syrup here on site. We give tours for about 1,000 people or so. It could be preschools, elementary schools. We do some for seniors. All kind of different groups come, and we actually make syrup here on site. And this year, probably made close to 600 bottles. I think it's like 37 gallons or so. After we finish up with that, we roll over to April, May doing school field trips where a lot of the kids are getting out of school, getting close to the end of the year. They come out for field trips, and we teach them about habitats, pond life, sometimes get binoculars out and do like bird hikes with them, sometimes roll over logs and catch bugs, just get them out, experience in nature. as part of their field trip and try and match up the curriculum they're doing. After that, we roll over to summertime. In summertime, we're going to be doing summer camps. We do about 8 weeks of summer camp, ages starting as young as 4 and 5 year olds, all the way up to 15 and 16-year-olds. After we finish up that, we do Bug Fest, which is a big celebration of insects where we have about 3,000 people come to show up to learn about bugs. They can catch bugs, they can handle bugs, they can even eat bugs if they want to. It's going to become a big, quite a big special event that we're known well for. After that, we finish Bug Fest. We roll over to Hayride season where we rent out our shelters here in the evenings, and they can people can come hang out for a couple hours at the shelter, get a fire with some firewood, and a tractor-pulled hayride.
Nice. So if somebody wants to sign their kid up for summer camp, where should they go? How do they find you?
They can call us directly here. We can sign them up. They can also visit the Indy Parks web page and sign up on there also.
What's that phone number?
327-4834.
Excellent. You've got some new and interesting things I think you're trying this year as well, right? Some more adult-oriented programming, Survivor Camp. Tell me about that because I may want to check that out.
Yeah, we've got a couple adult things in the work. We do a big concentration of environmental education is going to be on youth. We're pushing out some more adult programming. One of the things that we're doing right now is our Indiana Master Naturalist program. It's done in conjunction with DNR, where it's a series of 8 classes where folks sign up. It's for 18 years old and older, and they come, and we've done it on Friday nights. We've got about 18 people signed up for it, and each week is a different topic on natural history. It could be reptiles and amphibians. I did one on maple syrup with the group. Sometimes it might be birds and bird watching, just a variety of Indiana natural history topics that they can learn about. And once they're completed with that, they can get what's called a Master Naturalist certification, kind of like the Master Gardener program that so many people are familiar with. And jumping on that, we are trying a new camp. It's called Camp No Kids. It's an adult-based kind of nature adventure camp that we're just working on now, and we're going to try and get folks out mountain biking. We're going to teach archery. We're going to do some night hikes and games and activities. It's kind of like the camp experience just for adults.
And when will that camp take place?
That's happening in September. We're planning a mid-September weekend. It's in our gap between Bugfest and Hayrides, where we've got a gap where we can actually get this thing to go through. So it's looking, I think, around the 14th or 15th is what we're looking at.
And again, if somebody wants to sign up for that or learn more, they can check out indy.gov/parks or call
327-4834 gets them to Southeastway.
So tell me a little bit more about your summer camps out here. Right? They're pretty special out here at Southeastway.
Yes, we are part of what's called the environmental education camps. They do them also at Eagle Creek and Holiday Park. And each week we do a different age group and focus on environmental education, focus on nature education. So it's not like a babysitting camp. We're just hanging out. We're actually teaching them environmental concepts and nature concepts. With the young kids, we have one called Wiggle Worms. It's for 4 and 5 year olds, and basically it's little stories and games and just simple little hikes, getting them in touch with nature and learning some simple things about nature. As they get older, like 6 and 7s and 8 and 9s, we do our Nature Explorers camp and our Trail Stompers camps. And those are your classic nature camp where the kids are out catching bugs and they're dipping in ponds and going for creek walks and learning how to use binoculars and going bird watching. We've got longer days with them. We can cover longer concepts, and each day usually has a theme. It might be an aquatic theme where we go for a creek walk or a pond study. Another day might be focusing on birds, and we visit our bluebird boxes and check out and see if the bluebirds are nesting, take some binoculars out, that kind of stuff too. So each day has a nice little theme that focuses on our environment and some of the plants and animals in our backyard. A little bit older, we do 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, and they're going to be doing what's called Survivor Camp. And our Survivor Camp focuses on outdoor skills. So we're going to be doing things like shelter building, fire building, map and compass, archery. We divide the groups into 2 different tribes, kind of like they do on the show, and they make their own flag and banner to represent, and then we teach them outdoor skills, and then they compete with one another to see who can set up a shelter the fastest, or who can shoot archery the best, or who can navigate with a compass the best. And we also have a really cool gross eating contest where they get challenged one by one, head up there and see if they can eat the gross plate of stuff that we put out for them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And are you hiring camp counselors for the summer?
Yes, indeed. We are hiring camp counselors here as well as all throughout Indy Parks. There's lots of jobs available. They're fun jobs. They're outdoor jobs. They're working with kids. If you like nature or the outdoors, some of them do swimming. They do field trips, all kinds of stuff. We're hiring tons of campers. I'm hiring 2 here. I think they're doing about 4 at Eagle Creek, another 4 over at Holiday Park, and then all throughout the system and the other parks they're hiring all throughout for jobs all through the summer.
Excellent. And those jobs can be found at indy.gov/jobs, and folks can just search for Indy Parks or seasonal jobs. So, well, thank you so much, Chris. Thanks for spending time with us today in fabulous Southeastway Park. I hope, for anyone who's not familiar with the park, they'll come out and check it out. It's one of the most beautiful places in the city. And remember, every day is a great day in a park. Let's go for a walk.
Let's go.